Hi friends, welcome to the channel. So welcome to lesson 3 of the Python learning series. So in lesson 3, we are going to learn about literal collections and functions in Python. So first, let's learn about literal collections in Python. There are basically 4 different types of literal collections in Python. Number 1 is the list. The second one is the tuple literals. The third one is the dictionary literals. And the fourth one is the set. So let's learn about all of these literal collections in Python using the live demo. So far we were working with only one value, but if you wish to work with more than one value, then we go in for literal collections in Python. As I told before, literal collections in Python are of 4 types, namely list literals, tuple literals, dictionary, and set. So first we'll learn about lists. List is nothing but it's a collection of data declared using the square brackets in Python. Elements of the list are separated by using commas. You can have any type of data inside your list. It can be numbers, it can be strings. Another important thing to remember is elements of the list are changeable. That is, you can change the values of the list using list indexing or by using for loop or by using while loop or by using the lambda function in Python or by using list slicing. So let's create 2 lists called as numbers and my names. So I write down the name of the list and then I use the square brackets. And then I have a comma separated list of values for my numbers list. And then I finish it off with the closing square bracket. Now I have created a list called as numbers in which I have numbers inside my numbers list. Next, let me create a list called as my names. So here I have a set of strings inside my list. I have a set of names inside my list. So now I have created a list called as my names. That is, list is nothing but it's a set of elements. It's declared by using square brackets and the elements are separated by using commas, and you can have numbers or strings inside your list. You can also change the elements of your list. Now, if I try to print my list, I can try to print my list by using the print function. So you can see the numbers list being printed on the screen. Now, if I want to change the element of my list, I have a list called numbers, wherein in numbers list, my first element is 1. So if I want to change the first element of my numbers list by using list indexing, one way is by using list indexing. So I just say numbers of 0 is equal to 308. That means, so here the indexes starts from 0. First element is stored in the index 0. So I try to change the first element of the numbers list from 1 to 308. So now the value of the list has been changed. Now again I try to print the numbers list. You can see that the first element of the numbers list has been changed from 1 to 308. So from this you can understand that list elements are mutable or changeable. The next type of literal collection is tuple literals. So these tuple literals are declared by using round brackets. Okay, you can use tuples also to hold any data type, and commas are used to separate the tuple elements. Just now we saw that lists are mutable or changeable, but tuple literals are immutable. That is, you cannot change the element of your tuple literal collection. For example, so let's declare a tuple literal collection now. I declare a tuple literal collection called as odd, and then I store the elements 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 inside it. So now I have created a tuple literal collection called as odd. I try to print it. You can see the tuple literal collection being printed on the screen. Now, as I told you, tuple literal collections are immutable. That is, it's not changeable. So in case, you can check it out here by using indexing. I try to change the first element of this tuple literal collection. I say odd of 0 is equal to 2. I try to change the first element of my odd tuple literal collection from 1 to 2. You can see that it's giving me an error. The tuple object does not support item assignment. That is, you cannot change the elements of your tuple literal collection. Tuples are immutable. The next one is dictionary. Dictionary in Python is a data collection where values are stored in key value format. Okay, it will be stored as a set of keys and values. They are enclosed in curly brackets and they are separated by commas. Dictionaries are changeable, and another important thing to remember is dictionaries do not allow for duplicates. Dictionaries also can contain different types of data, and dictionary values can be defined within single quotes or by within double quotes. I told you dictionaries do not allow for duplicates. That means what will happen if duplicate keys are defined in your dictionary? Then Python will take the most recently defined key value pair. Now I try to define a new dictionary data literal collection. So I define the name as new dictionary. And as I told you, it is defined by using curly brackets. And it is defined as a set of key value pairs. Remember to put the single quotes. So here the key is A and the value is caret. And then I define another key called as B and the value is ball. And then I define another key called as C and the value as apple. Then I define another key, a duplicate key called as C and the value is lemon here. So you can see that even though you have duplicate keys here, C is defined 2 times here with 2 different values. One is apple and the other one is lemon. So I try to print the value of this dictionary literal collection. When I try to print the value, you can see that dictionaries do not allow duplicates. So since duplicate keys are defined for C, it has taken the most recently defined key value pair. So that is about dictionary literal collection. The last literal collection is about set literals. Set literals are a collection of unordered data which cannot be modified. It is enclosed. So what is the meaning of unordered? Unordered means that it's not going to preserve the order in which you have entered your elements into your set. It is enclosed within curly brackets, just like your dictionary, and it is separated by comma separated list of elements. Let's define a set collection here called as vowels. It is defined by using curly brackets, and I define A, E, I, O, and U. So now I have defined a set called as vowels, and as I already told, it's a collection of unordered data. So I try to print this set. You can see here that the order is not preserved. The order in which I entered the elements is different from the order in which it is stored. The elements are stored inside the set. So set is a collection of unordered data in Python, and set elements cannot be modified. So let's try to modify it by using indexing. So here I say vowels of 0 is equal to, I try to change the first element of the vowels set to D. You can see that it gives me an error that set object does not support item assignment. Remember to enclose the vowels A, E, I, O, U within the single quote since it's a character. Else it will give you name error. That is, you'll be getting the name is not defined error. Next, we'll see about defining functions in Python. That is how to define functions. Function is nothing but it's a collection of statements which is written to achieve a particular task. That is, you're going to have a block of code which is going to run only when it is called. And so you want to achieve this task. To achieve this task, you may need to pass some data. So you'll be passing some data into a function, and such data which is passed to the function are known as parameters. And information which is passed into functions during function calls are called as arguments. That is, when you call the function, the data which you are going to pass to the function are called arguments, and the data which is given to the function during the function definition are known as function parameters. So arguments will be specified after the function name inside parentheses. You can add as many arguments as you want, just you have to separate them with a comma. So basically a parameter is a variable listed inside the parenthesis in the function definition, and argument is the value that is sent to the function when it is called. A function may or may not return the data as a result. So let's see how to define a function in Python using an example. Now I click on the file menu and create a new file to type in my Python script. So I define a function. So functions are defined in Python by using the def keyword, and then we use the function name. The def keyword is followed by the function name and then the parenthesis that is followed by the colon. So following the colon symbol, we have the function definition. This will encompass the block of code which will help to achieve the particular task associated with the function. So here I'm just declaring two variables called as x and y. I'm assigning the values of 2 and 6 to x and y, and then I say z is equal to x plus y. And then I print the value of z. So here I am calling the function within the script, within the Python script. Function call is nothing but calling the function, wherein as soon as the function call is encountered, control gets transferred to the block of code associated with the function. That block of code gets executed and the result is returned back to the caller. So here no value is being returned, it just prints the value of z. So let's try to run this function code by clicking on run module. So you can see the result here. The result added values of x and y, which is 8, is being printed on the screen now. Next, you can also send arguments with the key is equal to value syntax. Arguments can be sent to a function with key is equal to value syntax. In this way, the order of the arguments does not matter. So let's see that with an example. Again, I open file, new file, and then I create a new function definition for division of two values. So here I have created a new function called as div function. This is used to divide the values of x and y, and the result is going to be stored in a variable called as result. And with the help of the return statement, it is going to return the value of result back to the function caller. So here we have the print statement. Inside the print statement, we have the function call. So we are calling the div function inside the print statement, and we are passing the arguments here. You can see the arguments here. We have passed the arguments to the function using the key is equal to value syntax. So when you use the key is equal to value syntax, we mention the parameter name and then the value for the parameter. So when you use this key is equal to value syntax, the order doesn't matter. So here, if I have simply called the function div function and mentioned 4,2, then 4 would be used as the value of x and 2 would be used as the value of y. But here I have changed the order and I have told the value of y would be 4 and the value of x would be 2. So div function would be called with the values of x as 2 and y as 4, and it will be executed and the result would be returned back to the caller. If you don't pass all of the required arguments to a function also, you'll be getting an error. So first, let's try to save this program and execute this code. And I'm trying to execute this code. You can see the result of division of x and y here. The value of x is 2 and the value of y is 4. So 2 by 4, it is 0.5. The result is printed in the Python shell here. So next we will move back to our program. So here I have opened the divide function program again. So as I told you, if you don't pass all of the required arguments to a function, you'll be getting the error. So here this function takes two arguments, x and y. So I have already passed the values of y and x here. So let's see what will happen if I don't pass the value of x. So I have just passed the value of y here. And if I try to run this code, you can see that it is giving me an error that missing one required positional argument. The result is nothing but the statements after the return statement are not executed. In case if the return statement is without any expression, then the special value called as none will get executed. Okay, so here let's try to replace this result and then execute this function with the value of x. So you can see here the output which we have got is none. If the return statement, we had a return statement without any expression, and so the function has returned a special value of none. Next is you can send any data type as argument to a function. That is, you can send a string, you can send a number, you can send a list, you can send a dictionary, etc. Any data type can be sent as argument to a function. It will be treated as the same data type inside the function. Okay, if you send a list as an argument to a function, the function will process the argument as a list only. So let's see it with an example here. So here I am changing the name of the function as new function. So here I'm trying to pass a list as an argument to a function. So I'm naming my parameter as food list. So if it is a list, then to iterate through the elements of the list, I'm using a for loop here to print the elements of the list. Then I'm creating a list here, food list. So what I've did here is I've created a new function which accepts a list as an argument. The list which we have created here is called as food, and it has the values as pizza, burger, and sandwich. And this new function is being called here. New function is being called here with the food list as parameter. So once this is called, I will have to iterate through the elements of the list to print the elements of the list. So for that, I make use of a for loop here, for I in followed by the name of the list here. So for while iterating through each and every element of the list, that values of the list will be getting printed through the print statement. Now let's try to save and run this program. With the help of the for loop, we have iterated through the elements of the list and it has printed all the elements of the list. So from this, we can understand that a function can accept any data type as argument. And here we have made use of a list as argument to a function. The last one which we are going to see about a function is about the pass statement. We have the pass statement in Python. In Python, function definitions cannot be empty. But if for some reason you want to have a function definition with no content, just put in the pass statement inside the function definition to avoid getting an error. So I just put pass here and then save the file, then run the code. So since the function is doing nothing, it doesn't give me any output. So if I remove the pass statement here and then just try running the code, I'd be getting an error that unexpected end of file is encountered while passing. From this, you can understand that function definitions in Python cannot be empty. So for that reason, we can make use of the pass statement inside the function definition to avoid getting these type of errors. So that is all about the functions in Python. See you in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.